Hey guys, hope you're doing well. The guys at Topdon have very kindly sent me through one of these for testing. It is an Art Diag Pro. What is one of these? Well, it is a car OBD scanner. And in my head, I thought these things were thousands. But no, you can get one of these for under £400, which I think represents really good value. You can test over 100 vehicles with it. It can update automatically online, and also it is bi-directional, so you can send test commands to valves and actuators to see if they're working okay. It doesn't program an ECU, which for me is a good thing, because I don't want to be able to do that, because I'll probably break it or do something that damages the car. So the fact that you can't do that for me is a good safety net. But it should be able to read any fault codes, test the car. It also has auto VIN lookup. In that, it will identify the VIN of the vehicle and look it up online and provide you with all the details of that vehicle. I've seen these guys around a bit. They do a really good battery tester, which looks at the cold cranking amps of a battery, not just the voltage. And I think they're up and coming in this space. So very excited to dig into this. Let's get it open and see what it's all about. Okay, so the first thing here is it comes in its own case, which is pretty good. That's the top of the Topdon. Let's get this open and see what is inside. Okay, we have in here, I think, the device itself. Nicely packaged up. Yep, that's the scanner itself. And in here, we should have some cables. We do, and a manual, and of course loads of these as well. So this here is for charging the device, USB, and this here is our all-important OBD cable. First thing I'm going to do with the device is get it on charge to give it a good boost. Before I get this on charge, that's me in the reflection, I just wanted to take a look at the device itself, and it is pretty good. I mean, it's pretty robust. It is well covered with this sort of rubber edging here. And one thing I have noticed is it appears to have on the back a camera. So I think you can potentially take photos to include in your diagnostic. So that's a really interesting little touch. It also has a stand here so you can have the device. That's pretty rigid. Rest at an angle. So yeah, let's get this on charge and see how it goes. So the device was 97% charged already, which is pretty good. Normally these things are about half full. So let's power it on and see what happens. Double beep. A little logo there. Pretty fancy, and this to me looks like Android 10 maybe. Start. Yeah, it looks like Android to me. Let's go through this wizard. Okay, we're going to get this onto the Wi-Fi. So the device does time out. If it does so, you just press that top button there. I'm sure you can adjust this in the settings somewhere. Display brightness, maybe in here. Oh yeah, sleep, there you go. So we can change that should we need to. But I had to connect the device to Wi-Fi, which we've done, and then it goes through a wizard where you verify your email address and put your workshop contact details in. So it truly is a professional product, and those contact details, I believe, are attached to the diagnostic reports alongside your photos from the camera at the rear when you're sending it through to whomever you're providing the service to. But the first thing I've noticed here is we have an upgrade option. And it looks like there's a whole host of firmware upgrades and VIN scan services and updates to all of these. Look at all these. Look at all of these vendors, vehicle manufacturers here. Pretty much every single one. And the fact that there's updates pending, to me, says that they keep the platform up to date with all the latest details. So that is really, really impressive. We've got Porsche in there, Ferrari. We've even got Saab in there. Wow. A blast from the past. So what I'm going to do is just let these, oh, that's refreshing, is update all of these, just why not, because we can, and let this whiz through. It might take some time. We'll come back to it when it's done. Okay, these updates do go pretty slowly. This is no way near the speed of my home Wi-Fi, much faster on my phone. Right, we're in a Merc here, and the ODB port should be up there, and yeah, that's it there. So we'll get that plugged in to the unit and see how we go. Right, so that's sprung into life. Seems to be doing some kind of firmware update at the moment, which is flying through. So I need to comment as well, the updates to the software, specifically the vehicle databases with all the codes in, takes a very long time. It was downloading at about 200 kilobytes per second, which is really slow. And I had a look, and that IP address is coming from Oracle in California, so it looks like they've throttled how much you can download or how quickly you can download the software. So Topdon, if you're listening, please do open the taps up a little bit. You want to get users to download, have a good experience, and get off your servers as quickly as possible versus being stuck there for a long time. So that would be my first bit of feedback. Okay, it's doing a VIN scan here. And it's found that. Okay. That's impressive. Automatically doing its thing now. You can hear some things whirring away, so it's obviously trying to test the vehicle in detail here. Potential fault there with one of the lights. It's really impressive the amount of detail that it's going through here. Every sensor it can hit against, it's checking, it looks like, and even things that don't exist on the car. So it is really, really in depth. And this is just off the shelf. In terms of subscription, this is active for 2 years, this subscription, which is pretty good. After that, you need to renew it to get the latest updates, etc. So I think it represents really good value. The cost of that I'm not sure of, but I'll ping into the description the costs if I can find that out. I can do one better than that. I can tell you about it live. So it's £250 without the VAT for 1 year subscription. Don't forget you get 2 years free. So my advice would be to download all of the software for all of the vehicles whilst you can. Only new vehicles or changes will need an update after that time. But I still think it represents pretty good value if you do this or use this product for your garage. Okay, so here we go. We have the complete report of the car here. Professional diagnostics report. It's pretty impressive, really, for the price of this thing. And we do have some abnormal. Click on that. Communication with one or more color generation and coupling modules on Limbo 7 is a malfunction. The message is missing. So this refers, I think, to the light strips that you get around here that give ambient light. I haven't actually checked to see if they're all operational, but I'll have a look at night to see if they are all indeed working, because if one of those is out, that could be what that is referring to. So that's not too bad. Audio or command here. The internet connection cannot be established. Problem with the network provider. Okay, that's fine. I'm not worried about that at all. That just implies poor mobile phone signal, I think, with the 4G card that is installed in the car. Air conditioning, abnormal. Temperature sensor. Left footwell vent has a malfunction. There is a short circuit deposit and open circuit. So this is interesting. I've noticed recently that it has started struggling with holding the temperature in the car and does often blow cold a bit too much. So maybe that could be related to this. But other than that, car is in really good shape, it looks like here. And not surprising because it has just been in, well, not too long ago, for a service. So I think in terms of the details that this gives you, it is seriously, seriously impressive for the price of this unit. We just go back here and it summarizes the codes there. Really easy to use, really responsive. I can clear the codes as well and see if they come back. So you can reset these codes and see if they come back. I'm not going to do that just yet. We have IM here, which I think is inspection and maintenance, and this will just check to see if the car is communicating okay. And then this here will provide us hopefully with some sensor feedback information, I think. Controller area network, and all of these are not supported. I think because the car might not be running. Other modules, have a look in here. Battery voltage 12, so that's live data coming back from the battery. So I'm going to fire the car up now and see what happens. Right, and that's good. So we're up to nearly just under 14 volts ish there, which means the battery is charging. You can see the dip when it started. So we're getting some real-time data back here. This is pretty impressive stuff. And then there's this, which is, or gives you the ability to reset all of the systems on the car. Look at the amount of available options there are here. I'm not going to start messing around with this without doing a bit more research, because I could potentially cause more harm than I intend to. So I really would be careful with this, especially looking at some of these. Tyre pressure monitoring system reset, if you get your tyres redone. AdBlue reset. AC system relearn initialization, that might be something I can try given that sensor. You can reset the gearbox, because gearboxes over time, they will adapt to your style of driving. And these options here will reset the gearbox so that it will relearn from scratch, and that can often be handy if the car is given to a new owner because it's learnt with that previous owner and you'd like it to relearn with the way you drive. But as I say, I'm not going to go into too much detail here because there is a risk that I potentially mess something up that I don't intend to. So if you are a bit mechanically minded and want a unit that is going to provide you with a lot of detailed information about your car, then this looks like a really good fit. They do a whole range of different units, and they have commercial high-end thousands of pounds units down to small Bluetooth dongles that you put into the OBD reading there, and they connect to your phone just to give you a light readout of any error codes and faults. The amount of detail that this unit goes into here is super impressive. I am very, very surprised with just how much or how many options we have here. I'm not going to run that, but this is really impressive, and for the price point of this unit, it seems like a real no-brainer in terms of purchasing this. I will put a link in the description. There will be a link for some money off if you wanted to buy one of these units, but I was super impressed with the diagnostics readout that we got for this car. It provided us just with a really nice report that we can then download and email to whoever needs to look at that. But the options available for this car are very, very impressive, and the auto detect function was really, really good as well. Obviously, it's only going to provide you with the diagnostics that have been downloaded here. There is a whole load of different cars that you can download, but I'm going to let it tick overnight to download just because of the issues that I've had with the slow server connection. But you can still see the battery readout there because the car is running and charging. So really impressive device, and the battery I think is going to last for a very long time indeed. We're at 100% because I had it plugged in whilst I was downloading, but yeah, this is a really nice little device. Thank you, Topdon.